time for the second map here of the series. It's going to be Nuke, of course, and Orgles. They have a tough recovery ahead of them. They're going to need another strong start, I would say, ideally here on Nuke, and also, of course, picking up this knife round just for the comfort of starting off on whichever side they would prefer to is going to be something that would be super helpful. And it looks like they should get it.
Are able to pull it off, and it is going to be.
You're muted.
Yeah, I think it should be fine now. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I forgot to unmute my mic.
Good producer in the background. Over, you muted your mic.
Well, you know, just in case. Producers see nothing bad happen if you. I pulled him. Yeah, I pulled him.
He always ends up muting his mic when I'm casting with him. So I'm used to it. It's not too uncommon for me.
The good thing is, I didn't pull the whole game, Mitch. You know, that would be a bit more concerning.
The way Mitch somehow does it is he mutes just himself on OBS when he's streaming it, and then it ends up being him talking for ages, and it just seeming like the stream's just quiet for ages.
So that was the awkward pause I listened to you guys have. Okay, that explains
that was just a spousal argument.
Classic. Like, I'm not talking to you. Well, it is going to be Excellency that's going to be talking to us through their T side, and let's see how far they can go and how well they can fare. Orgles, as you said, CT side for them, and it is going to be the first pistol here of Nuke as Dav already opens it up. Dav the second. Will be Dav the third? Well, not the third, but definitely close to, as Rylex gets one more. This is...
Oh, yeah, no, this was swift. That's what this was.
Yeah, extremely.
They're both separated as well, so not in positions where they can help each other, unfortunately. And although Ping ends up getting one down on B, as I had said, with them being in separate spots, it really relied on both of them finding success. Otherwise, the others left just rotating into a retake, most likely. Oh. Not even needed in the end, sorry. The bomb wasn't quite able to get on towards the bomb site before Holmes moved back in. I think they also had a player ready to peek in from hell, so they weren't even really taking too much of a gamble there by actually taking that fight in on ramp. It was a risky decision, maybe, but they had both angles ready to peek, and with that, do have the opening pistol round in their favor. That was so quick. I mean, the round had barely begun before already it was a 5-on-2 in favor of Excellency, and we had said if they're able to kick off with the momentum that they had throughout the pretty much entirety of Train, then it's going to be real worrying here for Orgles, and indeed, that's how it begins. They're going to be going in for the force buy at least, so if they can be successful with this, then they can try and get on the board early on. If not, then it's likely going to be that 3-0 lead for Excellency in the opening moments here. Nothing too crazy. Some smokes outside to just try and keep it in the minds of Orgles that, of course, this is a position they have to worry about.
And right now, Excellency is looking to take main control by the sound of it and by the looks of it. Dobbo, though, Deagle in hand, is able to deliver his deadly socks around the planet, and he's going to find himself the first as Jazar has the scout in hand. May be able to get tag on Dav and effectively take him out as the tag coming out from, I believe in this case, would be Ping. Excuse me, yeah, Ping. That got a few more shots off. Excellency. Slowing down a bit. Seemingly finding trouble in getting any sort of control, any sort of room to maneuver with. Oh, Jazar. His timing here. It could be everything for the round itself.
Yeah, no, there's no way he expects him so close already after having just checked it a couple of seconds back. Manages to make his way around the corner, though. He's fortunate he bailed as soon as he did after taking that shot, but still being so low on health with the scout, it's going to be difficult for him to really have impact here. But look at the time. There's only 17 seconds left. Excellency need to get onto one of these bomb sites real quick. Otherwise, this is going to become a very scary situation, and it does seem like B should be open for the plant. Indeed, there is a player around Decon, and the double doors got opened up, but the body block, thankfully, as Dav was brought down to 21 health, and with the kills as well being found, their Excellency have shifted this back in their favor. 3-on-1 at this point. Ping not able to do anything, and there it is, 3 surviving. It got a lot closer, I would say, than Excellency would have been hoping for, but considering coming into this round now, they're up against the full-on eco, they can make up for it.
They can definitely make up for it. And what can I say besides the fact that Excellency, they pull it in the nick of time. They pull it back when most needed. And losing only 2 players is not the worst of outcomes that could have happened there. And we could see that the timeout here for Excellency comes in an interesting, I guess you could say, fashion of time, given that they did just win the pistol and the second round force. Usually would see teams take a timeout before the gun round, but what this entails, what this usually means, having it right here, would be that they know specifically this could be a hard round for them, knowing that they might have troubles dealing with close pistols or rushes of the like, and they will prepare something more out of the ordinary to work against this. Nades outside, a lot of nades outside. Unfortunately, Dav has a different idea. Once again, Dav takes a dab and he takes himself up for 3 more. Perfectly done. Excellency handled themselves with ease and secure themselves a 3-0 start. This is really good. Like, comparing to Train, Excellency is doing a great job. I mean, it's no better way to put it, really. They seem to be continuing their streak from Train.
Yeah, if they get the first gun round especially, that's when the worry really creeps in for me, where I would begin to maybe lose a little bit of hope about this being a competitive series. So this is where Orgles need to step up. They have their first full gun round, they have the op, even if it is glass cannon, and they have a limited amount of utility to actually support those weapons as well. A slower round so far, though, from Excellency. Nothing crazy being done. A couple players around lobby, and oh, actually, one of them feeling maybe a bit too adventurous, trying to peek in through door. Cypher ends up finding the opening kill. He takes some damage, sure, so he doesn't escape unscathed, but they've got the numbers now, at least, over on the CT side, which is a good beginning. Been able to now slow down Excellency a little bit, and also forcing them to not just sit in the default, to make a move and actually try and achieve something with the round, considering they are already, of course, on the back foot.
Right now, Excellency, as I said, sitting in the back line with a man down. They do have the utility to execute A if they were to do so. Question is, do they actually want to do it? Well, volley on towards Hut actually fails. Dobo sprays down NK, and here comes the commitment. Dobo finds the second as well as Cypher holds the line cross. It is down to Hutji, who was, of course, on roof, being left in this very problematic position. A 1-on-5, and he's looking to save the AK. Can't blame him for that. He has 5,000, so he can drop a rifle to one of his teammates if in case that will be required. But Brody is going to come out on top already by the time by the time Hutji can realize he's already going to be gone. What a way to approach this. Fair enough. Having ourselves the first round for Orgles early on will help them immensely for the CT side. At least on the gun round, that is. And additionally, a clean round.
Yeah, that's how you want to kick it off. They still can't afford, obviously, to drop this round here. In round, they still need to try and, of course, chain a bit together and take a few before they drop anything else. And again, it's Cypher who's able to kick things off, and this time without taking any damage at all. And peeking in towards the door, managing to find that kill onto Rylax. Was Rylax the one who went down early in the previous round as well, in the exact same position? I can't recall. Blanking a little bit, but either way, they need to be a little bit more cautious around the door. Obviously wanting to see if they can pick up that opening kill early on and just pressure the player around main and also around the hut in general, but these last couple of attempts now haven't gone too well for them in that position. Setting themselves up for a quick ramp take, though, I believe. Yeah, actually, Hutji even finding that opening kill. They were able to close in the distance on Ping. He hadn't fallen back down through the ramp to set up on B. Instead, his teammates doing so, but they aren't able to quite get into position before, of course, being swarmed. Hutji, he wants more, gets his head ripped off by Jazer. A little bit overkill on the off, but it was needed. He had already taken out 2 of his teammates.
Not looking too sweet anymore, as you said. Losing Cypher and Ping is a problem, and Holmes right now, he's got a good angle to work with. Jazar, does he check this close corner? And Holmes could have closed the long doors, though he will reveal himself into... Okay, now, yes, they know where he is. He can certainly do that to make sure his flank is secured. Through ramp, there's a push coming in, and nobody checking it. Dobo, he finds himself one, but NK, the door's closed now, more affecting him than anything else. On bomb, Jays are already ready, and NK just oblivious to the fact that the bomb might have been in trouble. Well, the player might have been close to the bomb itself, and luckily time runs out as Jazar has to run away, so the round still goes to Excellency, but they pay a very high price to take that one. Losing all 5 and keeping the op alive on Jazar it is going to take a little bit away from them, and we can see the result is a Galil for NK, having to go with only $3,900 to the round itself. Orgles, they're lucky that they had 5 surviving members the previous, so they can get back into it almost instantaneously. Cypher, ooh, burning a bit. That sound cue definitely getting to Excellency. Oh, blinded double headshot.
Dink, yeah, on towards 2 of the players coming outdoor. He does still get taken down before doing anything himself, but with the damage done and with his teammates just cleaning up, it looks like indeed Orgles should be able to make this one work. Rylax, the 1-on-2, he's so low. 9 health, and he doesn't expect that player up close, so Ping had already creeped in onto the close angle. That was a quick one. Maybe Excellency were expecting the eco in right there. I'm not too sure. But yeah, trying to take up the pace, unfortunately, ends up costing them a little bit. Being cleaned up on the A-bomb site, and with that now, Orgles, they bounced back. They managed to actually break down the economy of Excellency, and we should be seeing the eco. Although Holmes was looking at the... no, they wouldn't be on a double eco, are they? What was the loss bonus? Are they getting 1900 into the next one, isn't
They
it?
should get 1900, so for Holmes, it's a double eco,
yeah. So I was thinking maybe, as I was saying, that they were going to eco, that the buy might have come in, but no, they didn't go for it. And I feel like that was kind of surprising. I got a little bit lucky that my statement was true, because 9 out of 10 times in this situation you would see the team buying, especially when they're already up by 2 here on the T side, just to try and keep the pressure on. But I like the eco. I'm not disagreeing with it by any means. It just wasn't what I quite expected. Cypher, oh, nearly went down, although he didn't take too much damage. He had been caught off guard from behind. Not ideal, but yeah, they get the round win. They keep 4 alive, and now Excellency, as we said, they're still going to be a little bit limited, but they decide to go for it. I would have preferred maybe some Tech 9s and such here to just try and get the kills again and try and get a bomb plant, but confidence at the moment from Excellency, and considering how the first map went, that is fair, but it also went that way because they were making good decisions on the economy and such.
They were a bit more cautious,
we'll see.
Yeah. I have to agree here with you that I'm not particularly fond of the way they're approaching this, although Cypher has had enough. He's just going to push into Hut, and that will be Cypher gone. Brody pulls up the auto shotgun, gets himself Holmes, and, well, the refrag is set in piece and stone, but Ping, he pushed in deep. Oh, his angle here is perfect. Yeah, Rylax does not expect it. He does take a shot and actually challenges Ping, but cannot finish him off. And I would have preferred to see Tech 9 Kevlars and just going for a quick take to try and, break down Orgles if at all possible, instead of the Galil buy, which doesn't really make too much sense, right? You know you're up against an op, you know you're up against superior weapons, and you're already putting yourself in a tough spot as it is. Not to mention the fact that they are in a tough spot in general. NK, though, hold on. He's been able to sneak into secret. Now, I'm not 100% certain that Orgles know about this. They don't seem to be reacting. They don't seem to be on... Okay, now with the windows broken, of course, that is going to be a different scenario. They certainly will know now. Classic off angle. This is something we see being missed quite a lot, especially by teams that are not particularly fond of the map or very much well-versed in the map. They seem to forget that there's a good off angle you can have from Garage spotting main. And, well, Dobo gets himself a free frag because of it. NK denied for anything. And Excellency tied back up. That force didn't really succeed as well as they hoped.
No, and now it just gives the chance for Orgles to start grinding their way into the lead here even. Not much at all being bought. Was it just some nades here? Even blocked up there? I like that obviously they're fully focused on ensuring that they're not going to have any weaknesses in this next round fight. But maybe a couple P250s and such could have been a decent idea, just to get a few kills perhaps out around. But we'll see. For now, just chilling in lobby. They had thrown the nades in. and unfortunately didn't manage to connect anything with them. So I forgot slightly tagged up there. I'm not exactly sure how that happened. Was he peeked from the hut, or did he just take a bit of fall damage perhaps? But either way, 83 can certainly help out with those Glocks in play, and indeed NK gets the instant dinks to claim the kill. Helps out Rylax as well as he takes down Brody. And considering the investment that came into this round, the 2 kills that we found are certainly not a bad result. I think they can be relatively happy with that. As I said, now coming onto the full buy, of course, and looking with that to try and grind out another few rounds here, at least on the T side. 4, it's a good enough foundation considering it's still early stages, but they realize that they want to start adding a little bit more to that. So the pause, it does come in.
Taking a moment, the second pause. And this is, this is what I was talking about earlier, how usually you see pauses come out before gun rounds. And in this instance, that's exactly the case. They're going to be taking a moment to try and bide a little bit of time and discuss how to move forward. In this case, full buy, utility as well. It's as good as it can be. We have 5 smokes, 5 mollies, quite a few flashbangs, and 2 nades to work with. I'm eager to see what the game plan here for Excellency is. They have not yet set smokes for the outside. They have not yet really gone for a full-on A execution. It was more of a half and half for both sides. And oh, nades outside, take down Dav as Ping finds Rylax. Did Ping push into lobby or... No, actually, yeah, he pushed into lobby through ramp. Yeah, he did do that, and he was able to get the entry. Excellent start. This is really good. Excellency in trouble since they have no response, they have no outside control, they have really nothing to work with. Look at how afraid they are even of lobby itself. This is scary right now.
Yeah, Orgles seem to have flipped their internal switch again and decided that they wanted to start playing some grey CS, and it's exactly what we're getting. Ping instead had already given them the opening with that aggression around ramp, and now he plays it much better. Earlier on, obviously, we've seen him get overwhelmed real quick on ramp. This time he takes the one shot, falls back away, and gives the info over to his teammates that it likely could be that B hit right now. He goes in, that's going to force him a little bit further back on the angle, but not quite into the open. Still able to make this work, finding only the 1, but he's given time for Cypher to get into position there, and he mows down 3. Orgles, they continue to build up this lead. They've now taken themselves 5 rounds in a row. It'd been a while since we'd seen them winning out rounds with this dominance. It had been pretty much since the beginning of Train. But they're doing it. They're looking better here on the CT side of Nuke than at least they looked towards the latter part of Train. And likely to extend that lead up 7-4, because again, not much to work with here for Excellency. They get the pistols, they get some Kevlar, so it's not one you can count them out of completely. But considering Orgles have been looking quite firm in terms of their grip even on the gun rounds, this shouldn't be a round that they struggle too much with.
It really shouldn't, and we can tell in this instance that it is going to be, again, a bit of a faster approach. They are on A site, they even plant the bomb. Rylax is going to be able to get away with that. That's really good, even gets a kill. Damn, I mean, this is excellent stuff from Excellency, and as punny as that sounds, it really is, considering what they invested the round in, or with what they totally invested into the round. 2 kills and a bomb plant, usually we call that successful, and in this case it will be the same. Though Orgles are starting to pick up the pace, they have finally found their footing, it seems like, and Nuke is a much better map in this instance for them than Train ever was. Jazar, look at this mad lad, he's got $13,000, well, we can chalk it up to 14. It's quite good. 9k, 7k, Brody, Dobo, they've got the money right now. They've got the bank, and if they play their cards right, they'll have more than enough until the end of this first half. So far, Orgles keeping the peace.
Ooh, that's the smoke on Garage. With the op in it. This is interesting. Orgles, on each gun round, they're trying something new and crazy, and that's a good idea. They're swapping things up on the rounds that are so important to win, and it is going fantastic for them so far. A good opening from Jazar, and Excellency with no one else rather around outside to get that control. They decide that they're going to try and move forward on ramp, and they will be able to do so. Nicely placed Molotov in towards Hell to stop the Opper from being able to peek back in, but Still down by a man for now, and of course, plenty of warning for Orgles to go ahead and make the reaction happen to rotate someone down to B if needed. I'm not quite sure if they have as of yet. I'm terrible at reading the nuke radar.
Doesn't seem like there's anybody down on B, yeah. Although if I'd had to wager, they certainly should have somebody either in secret. Yeah,
I think Brody is, judging by the way he's looking around on the radar. No, is he? Yeah, I can't tell. Either way, it doesn't seem like it's really going to be going in that direction. It is instead towards the A-bomb site, where the majority of the players are for Orgles. So that is the main thing. Ping is actually ready to come back up the vent. Brody indeed out towards secret. He'll be able to move across towards main. But obviously his teammates on the bomb site itself are going to need to find some early success as the push comes in. Oh, Hudgy. Yeah, there's no gap in that smoke, I don't believe, for now, but a little bit scary. They're actually moving back down towards B. As I had said, Brody was around secret and Ping was down in the vent, so I don't know if they're still going to be able to get contact. They just trade positions. This whole situation is weird. Cypher, oh, he actually reacts in time. And 3 players are currently down towards B right now. The bomb, it just can't be planted anymore. This round is done.
What a wonky round. At one point it looked like it was A, on the other point it felt like it was B. It's just such a back and forth with Orgles literally having to juggle their response from one to the other hand, and yeah, that was a little bit wonky. Again, Cypher able to get the frag kind of secures the safety in numbers for Orgles, and above all else confirms that it's not an A hit. And afterwards, Excellency, of course, left with very little time and very little room to maneuver with. And look at this, outside smoke's going to be delivered as Adobo plays close range, finds the shot on Silo, sees the second, which is Holmes, and the Serbian duet is dead. Jazar as well finds 2. This is truly looking like a proper opening of the map for Orgles. What we expected on train, and we even got a glimpse of it at 8-1. Right now, it's a bit different. Adobo needs to engage here, or he will be saved by the bell. The smoke of his teammate flying in at the right time. 9-4. It's not looking too good anymore, is it? I mean, 4 rounds is not the worst for Nuke T side, but given that the new meta, given that the new accepted result would usually be up to 5, 6, 7 minimum, this is quite concerning.
Yeah, it's pretty goddamn concerning at this point, I would say. If you're an Excellency fan, to see that they really have begun to struggle some, which obviously still here on the T side of Nuke, but 4 isn't enough. I wouldn't even really say 5 is. The remaining two rounds here would be the main goal for Excellency, but unfortunately 5 is going to be what they'll be aiming for, considering this one isn't the full buy. Holmes gets a good trade on towards A, gets the second on Brody. Smoke's just all over, making it so difficult for him to get any vision. And importantly, allowing for those systems to close in the distance. But as I say that, obviously they're rotating through heaven. The drop down, it gives the chance over. I believe that was the death from fall damage.
Yes, it was.
Just the kill feed doesn't show it.
Yep, it doesn't register on the kill feed. Oh boy.
It doesn't even matter it was a close round though, because it goes in favor of Orgles. Look at their money. They have loads into the last round, so it's not like their buy is impacted. They come out with a double up setup, just flexing right now on Excellency.
At this point, I'd go for 5 ups, just for the gist of it, just like have a little bit of fun. I mean, that would be stupid, but you know, if you really wanna put your opponent in at unease, you show them dominance.
They've got that already.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. They've already got them at unease. Dobo again pushing outside though. This is the second time we see him attempt this close range play, and it does work out for a frag, but it doesn't really give him more than that. Luckily, Brody's able to deliver. Cypher already pushing into Squeaky. And look at the map control they're able to achieve with this early aggression. Although NK refrags, it is going to be... Oh, Cypher missing his spray down as Ping will reply. We're back into the corner here by the side of Excellency as Dav has to play this one all alone. Jazar and Ping, the double up. Can they work the retake successfully or will it be a failure? Well, we're about to find out. Jazar is going to be playing from Squeak. Heard, if nothing else, seen. Not like it matters.
And yeah, shot in the body by Jazar. 11-4. Fantastic recovery from Orgles. What was it? Was it 4-1 at one point? Or was it 3-1? Yeah, no, because
believe it
Excellency
was
went to 3-0,
4-2
lost
for
the first gun
Excellency.
round, right?
Yeah. It was 4-2 for Excellency, and then basically from that point forward, it hasn't stopped for Orgles.
Yeah, no, they've flipped things around. We said we didn't really know what to expect of them here on Nuke, but we were presuming that it was going to be one that'd be more comfortable for Excellency. For Excellency, considering that they pulled it out as their map choice, and no, not so far. I mean, taking each other's maps perhaps in this series. The previous one was 16-12 if you're looking at the score up there in the top right, which is now gone, but it wasn't quite that close. It was fairly one-sided, as this one is boding to be as well so far, if we're being honest. It's looking like Orgles, they may have it in them to take us on towards a map 3 and give us Inferno, which you said you wanted to see in this series.
Exactly. We love to have a bit of a closer contention for the series themselves instead of a very one-sided event. And in this case, Excellency having to already play retake. Holmes has the kit and the utility, and they'll be coming in with 3 players through heaven. Not exactly sure what they want to pull off though. Holmes, here's the flash in, the second flash coming in as well. It will blind one, that Cypher out, but Brody and Ping, the deliverings is already there. The pain has been given and taken, and well, Excellency, they will lose the second pistol. The worst part of all, they couldn't really afford to do that. From 11-4 half, we translate into most likely 13-4, potentially even 14-4 here, given that the force buy for Excellency is now dependent, or more specifically, the result is dependent on the force buy here of Excellency themselves.
This is crazy. I mean, the previous time that they played Nuke, that Orgles played Nuke, they lost 7-16 against SG Pro. So the fact that they're coming in right now and just making this so convincing is an incredible showing from them. And yeah, I mean, if they win out against this force buy right here, then likely going to be up on 14 before we actually see the guns coming out for Excellency. And at that point, of course, on the brink of sending it on towards map 3 already. So there's a long road ahead of the I wanted to say a nationality, but they're a mixture of Prism over on the Excellency side. Oh, good openings by Rylax. He actually manages to get himself 2 somehow. Will be traded back on by Cypher, and unfortunately the scout from Hell wasn't able to do anything, but he did realize only one player moved in this direction, and is now even connected the scout shot. Sure, he takes a bit of damage himself, but he's forced Cypher to be a little bit more limited in his playmaking abilities, which when they're down by a man isn't ideal, but they're not anymore.
Though Hudgy might make ease of that scenario. The timing here for Hudgy, though. Oh, man. That is going to hurt in the morning if he goes over that replay, and certainly he should. He had an excellent chance and opportunity to pull it off, unfortunately unable to do so, and we are back to square one here for Excellency. As you said, the engagement for Orgles might have been problematic if Cypher and even Brody would go in first, but the way they handled this, although... Whew, NK... Well, that's all for NK, unfortunately. This is a bit weird. Like we both said, right? Not sure what to be expected out of Orgles, but certainly this is a performance that neither of us kind of foresaw.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, just maybe before the series started, we had pointed out, obviously, it's not like it's a great map for Excellency, and Orgles had only played it once, so it was kind of a toss-up in the air, but especially after seeing how Train went down, we were like, yeah, Excellency choosing Nuke, this should be pretty straightforward, but no, it has been anything but straightforward. They have been struggling to get together anything, and since those early moments of the map, Orgles, they look fantastic. They definitely want to take us onto Inferno and make this a 3-map series, as they don't even slow things down. They want to make it happen quick up against the weaker investment here, up against just this scout over from Dabs that I believe was saved, and not really much else other than some P250s. They know that they can, of course, just win out those aim duels, and already claiming the bomb site, they I've pretty much confirmed the round with that. There is a chance for maybe a few exits to come in, but actually stealing weapons out of the hands as well to actually retrieve, I think is going to be a little bit too much. As long as Orgles ensure that they stick together.
Well, going in as all 5 will definitely give them the chance to win it without any casualties, or at least minimal casualties. But of course, Dav, as you said, with the saved scout, helps out a little bit, but doesn't really change the final outcome. And they even lose ping to the bomb, so Orgles, not the cleanest of rounds, nor the best of rounds to be winning like that, but sure enough, they win it, and that's what matters. 14-4, and here we go. This is it, Excellency. They'll have to play to their name, or be the namesake players, if they want to secure themselves a chance of winning the second map in the series right here, right now. Otherwise, Inferno is almost behind the corner already. Well, 1 foot across the door here for Orgles as it is already. Dav on the op, the rest not well equipped, but at least we have a kit, dude. We have a kit. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy.
Yeah, it could be useful, obviously, if it comes down to the retake, but considering how impressive Orgles have been just with the frags and the openings, we'll have to see if it's even going to be needed. This has to be Excellency really turning things around and showing us what they were able to show us on train. But it's a little bit harder at this point, rather than being down 8-1. Of course, 14-4, they're feeling a bit more outmatched than they would have been in that position. Right now, though, full ramp control has already been taken by Orgles, and I don't know what sort of adjustment has come in. I believe they now just dropped the player down vent. And with that, Orgles have actually made the decision to start moving back, I believe, towards lobby. Likely to set themselves up for the A split. So this is going to be a difficult one to hold. I believe they're sending a couple players around main. At least one, indeed, heading from outside.
Yeah. I love the read from Orgles here, that they're actually repositioning back for the A hit, knowing that the reply from Excellency will be either, bad for the B defense, or it's going to be over-exaggerated, and being able to weaken their A defense like that helps them immensely. Holmes finds one, Dav and Hudgy, though, holding the line, and Hudgy will be able to lock it out in the end. Pulled himself for a double. Now, it's not perfect, it's not optimal, but it is theirs, and it is the 5th. Excellency, you said it, and let's see if they can preach it. If they can play it. They'll need every single round up until that round, or map victory, or preferentially up to that tie. 14-14 would be their goal in this instance. If it goes down into then losing it, well, it happens. But at least if they're able to pull 14-14, then there's a chance you might be able to still make this a doable for a second map. It's quite concerning, as you said, the stark difference between Train and Nuke here is palpable, really. The worst part is they started off well. Excellency. They had 4 rounds to begin with on the T side. Obviously winning the pistol and then losing one in between, and the second, I believe, as well. Still 4-2 it was, and they had themselves ample opportunity to make it a reality and to make it potential for more than just a few. Hajit, good hold.
Right. Looking better here on the CT side. It's just kind of, do they have... Is it too late? Do they have the room that they need to make this comeback happen? Because, I mean...
That's a
even if
good
you're
question, yeah.
playing your perfect level of CS, sometimes you just don't win out the aim builds, and the round can go a little wrong because of that. So it's a scary position to be in. Not only do you have to play flawless CS, a little bit of luck has to go your way. That your opponents just aren't going to be hitting their shots. Maybe not luck. I don't think that's the best word for it, but there's a bit more to it, because even if you're making the correct decision, sometimes you just don't hit your shot. Sometimes your opponent hits their shot a bit quicker. So we'll have to see if they can keep this up on a very consistent basis.
Well, we're about to find out, and I guess the answer
already found out, yeah, at least in this round. Not much to work with, but just cleaning it up and ensuring that not even a single point of damage up to this point is being taken is ideal to get a little bit of confidence rolling.
That's exactly so, right? I think yesterday against... Was it against... Yeah, it was... Vertigo, Singularity versus Izuku Boars, right? Where Singularity, when they lost that 11-4, or when they won that 11-4 half, Izuku Boars started to play super aggressive, right? They started to to continuously pressure Singularity and effectively break them by playing their own mind games against them. And in this case, Excellency, perhaps the answer to all their troubles is being a little bit more aggressive, trying to push Orgles back, trying to force them into a submissive state where then they can handle them with ease, or at least dictate their pace as you usually want to as the T, or the CT in that manner. Ping, I mean, he's got a Glock. I'm not really sure what he's taking such a long time to do. 14-7 though, halfway through and through. As the actual full buy comes in for Orgles, and we'll see the commitment from Excellency. Is it enough? Is the current boost of what, 3 rounds enough to buy them a potential victory here? At least for a few more.
Yeah, no, I mean, ideally they can't afford to drop around at all here on the side of Excellency, but if they are to do so, it needs to be much later on. They can't be anytime soon. And it doesn't look like it's going to be this one anyway, because they are dominating this outside aggression. One comes back from Dubbo, but even then, having lost 3 of his teammates around that position, he decides he doesn't want to stick around because he knows there's at least 2 more that have still pushed up close. So yeah, backing away, and at this point just looking to try and, I would presume, join up with Brody and see what they're going to be able to find. 2-on-4 left to recover with absolutely no control for the moment. Maybe expecting some further aggression to come in because they are staying split up, but really the hope is that mistakes are going to be made. Otherwise, there's really not going to be much given over to Orgles. And I would imagine at this point, Excellency aren't going to be taking any crazy peaks or anything. Although they might be playing so passive that it gives the chance for Orgles to get a little bit of ground covered. You can see even now the ramp control being taken.
Indeed, starting to get into a few nicer spots, though. Ramp control has been relinquished with good reason. Rylix has the angle of attack here. Brody will not expect somebody to watch down upon him. And truly, like God, Rylix watches down upon all mortals from heaven, controlling the entry into hell.
I had no idea. I was about to say Dav had creeped up behind them. I didn't know it was the off player, so that was a little bit awkward.
Yeah. Like, Dav was continuously scoped in, and then just like, oh, there you are. 14-8. We are reaching a certain number of rounds where Excellency then do bring into question the validity of Orgles' success and overall chance of putting up a victory on the board and continuing their streak. So far, Excellency seems to be unfazed by the loss they took, and either had been able to mentally go over it, or at least somehow suppress it long enough for them to buy themselves time to get their confidence up. In this case, good down B take. NK invents good shots. Damn, NK. I mean, the fact that he gets 2 kills there is already commendable. Very tough spot, a very tough angle to work with. Holmes, he's reading a potential flank, but look at this. Jazar, he's called it. They're moving back up A. Of course, the CT's overreacting. This is exactly what they were counting on, although Holmes seemed to be reading this as well, as Jazar will be caught. Unfortunately for Orgles, their plan will not succeed as well as they thought, but the idea definitely wasn't bad at all, as they do plant the bomb regardless.
Yeah, I was going to say that they didn't get the bomb plant, so I think the idea itself was a bit successful. It was more so the after plant to capitalize on it that wasn't, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of to be expected. They didn't have too much to work with in that round in general, but this is another chance for Orgles to try and close it out quick enough. I mean, obviously, Excellency at this point, they've built their economy up to a position where at least they don't have to worry about it. If they lose one round, they have enough to buy back in and keep on fighting, at least for the overtime. But ideally, as we said, they don't want that to be happening. They want to keep on picking up these rounds and keeping the possibility of the regulation win. And for now, it is definitely still there. But here we go. Let's see. Ops available for both sides. So we'll see if Jazar is going to be able to contend with Dav, who I believe has been having a pretty solid game so far. Can't see the scoreboard for the moment to see what frags he's on.
He's been popping off quite nicely, yeah, I gotta agree. His op skills on train have already been displayed, and here as well he's been able to shut down, excuse me, a few valiant attempts from Orgles. Ooh, gap That will be covered. Luckily, a second smoke deploys as Orgles look like they want to go down secret for real this time. Smokes into deep CT. Dobo, does he go main? Because it looks like he wanted to there for a second, but no, rather he's going to infiltrate into deep CT itself, getting himself in towards lower hell, more specifically. Now there's a way that Orgles can conclude this round in almost a blink of an eye. If they get rid of hell control, so if they're able to isolate Dav, then they pretty much have this game in their hand. Although NK, we don't know where exactly it's happening, but they are able to get 2 frags. Jzar, the reply is imminent. I believe NK actually pushed main by the looks of that. Or at least the smoke dissipated and the angle of attack was prepared. Hadji from backside though. Another double. And Dav will conclude the round successfully alongside as well. 14-10, my dude, this is now happening. And you asked for the KD, 17-14 for Dav. Doing pretty damn well.
Everyone's contributing right now for Excellency, which is what you need if you're going to make this comeback happen. And I guess the same can be said there as well about Orgles. No one really trailing behind. Brody's actually the one who's bottom fragging for the moment. So if he's able to take that up a little extra bit of a notch that, of course, we know he's capable of, perhaps that could be what they need to take this over the finish line. But at least for now, Excellency, they are clawing their way back in. Once double digits gets put on the board as it has now, that's when I think it really becomes a worry in the mind of their opponent, like, oh damn, this is really becoming a possibility now that we could let this slip away. I hope that's not something that's creeping into their minds, but sometimes it can be hard to keep out. But either way, they have another chance right now to at least confirm the security of an overtime. Nothing too crazy though. Default initially setting up the smokes now for the outside control. I believe just the standard one, so we'll likely see them try and go over towards secret, where for the moment there is a player in position. It's going to be NK, I believe, who is looking to at least try and slow down this push a little bit. The flash goes in. I think it's too deep. So yeah, there was a player ahead of it. If it was thrown a second earlier, that would have been perfect.
Unfortunately, NK expected that to be a bit of a second earlier, and he does get himself caught. Rylex coming in through control room. He's going to be able to have an angle on one. The second, though, it's Dobo to take his head off. And look at the angle on Ivy, on ramp, as Jzar is actually going to be caught. I expected him to be able to take down Hadji there, but instead, it's backed into a corner here. 3v3 still, and through the smoke, does he go through? Yes, he does. Doesn't check the corner. Oh, he gets the bomb planter. Dobo will be able to reply, but Dav, good aim, good response, and backed into a corner. Brody is in a 1-on-2. Make it a 1-on-1. The clutch now opens up. Brody is not ready for the op, though, and you can see the frustration for Dav. He knows that was such a close round. You know that he felt that already being lost almost, and the rest of Excellency likewise. But they secure the victory somehow in $15,000 that Dav has. 10,000 both on Holmes and Rylex. They have more than enough, plenty enough to last them until the very end of this game. And a timeout for Orgles, and I am not surprised. That was a round that they were supposed to take. I mean, they had all the cards, all the stars aligned for them.
It really did look like after the openings and such were found, after they had found their way down on towards B, but no, Excellency, when needed, they have their players stepping up, and as you said, the pause had to be called in from Orgles. Hope is probably beginning to slip away from them a little bit. I would imagine the beginning of train is still in the back of their mind a bit as well, thinking, oh, we were up 8-1 then and we still let the rest of the half slip away, and then with that the map. But yeah, I mean, I hope not, because it's not quite over yet. They're going to have another gun round coming out after this one. If they lose that, that's when I'm really, really, really worried, if I'm going to be honest. So we'll see how that next gun round does go. Pistols and an A split is the plan. As you can see, they've already got up close on main, actually. So maybe this is the one they can steal away. The Tech 9s indeed getting some successful openings. The M4, though, peeking in. Rylax found the perfect timing to catch those two players off guard. That got a little bit too dicey for my liking, but they live with 3, and again, as we had said, the money at this point really isn't an issue that Excellency are worried about. Unless they start surviving with only one player in every single round, then they're not really going to be eating through that amount of economy that they've built up.
That cut it a little bit close, man. That cut it super close for Comfort, and Given that pistols are able to do that much damage, I wouldn't be surprised if now the gun rounds are going to be bringing out a bit more success for Orgles. But let's find out for ourselves, shall we? It is going to be the op on Jazar. Interestingly enough, he goes into Squeaky. Oh, outside control going to be contested for, though Dav is going to be catching ping. Jazar takes down Hudgy as the push in lobby comes through. Rylek still delivers as Jazar is caught. Cypher backed into a corner and gets himself Dav. Now he's pushing out A main, so he is getting a lot more control out of it all. But NK... he's going to be trying to put himself in between Cypher and Dobo to get a bit of a better angle of attack. Although, no, for the moment, holding hut only, not going to push forward. This 2-on-2, dude. This is the round-winning and maybe the game-winning moment here for Orgles. More specifically, the game-winning moment, if at all, is going to be happening. What a nerve-wracking minute this is about to become.
I mean, yeah, looking like it could be the full minute with how safe it's being played at the moment by everyone. As you said, they know how important this is on both sides. Oh, NK though, he's going to get the diamond. He may even be able to find them both, but no. If he hadn't have taken the time to look towards main, he probably would have been able to got that, but it's still alive for Rylax.
Oh,
he does what he can, and he managed to get it. He got the kill before the molly burned them alive. I didn't even realize. Oh, God, that couldn't have been any closer right there, but Orgles, they are going to be kicking themselves right now.
That is going to be nerve-wracking, as I said.
While standing up. That's how they'll be kicking themselves, because that was crazy.
That was crazy, my dude. Orgles, they will be very mad about how that round ended up being, but, well, Excellency, they don't mind. They've got the money for ages, and in this instance, they secure the 13th, one away from tying it up, and oh my god, the comeback is actually, potentially, maybe, not sure, happening. What in the world is this, man? Orgles.
Oh, it's happening. I mean, even if the comeback doesn't lead to the victory, at this point, this has been an incredible comeback from Excellency. I don't think you can take that away, but yeah, obviously, the victory's the main win. If they fall short, then they fall short. They get the loss. That's all that matters. But they've definitely stepped up their level of play.
Most certainly they have, and it seems like the CT side truly is favoring them. As on train, so shall it be on Nuke. And Dav will find himself a piece of the pie as Ping is caught. He should check his internet connection. Rylek going to be holding the line, not effectively though, as he does tag on a few and gets one. It's Dav that actually secures his secret control somewhat. Cypher, good return. 2-on-3 though. The bomb still planted, but at this point it does not matter anymore. Excellency, not only do they get the tie, not only do they get the 14th, I think they mentally broke Orgles there. Like, Orgles must be feeling completely and utterly devastated by the loss they're incurring here and the loss they're getting. Seemingly nothing is working. No approach, no amount of frags, no amount of attempts they're able to pull away with. Holy damn. And that one round, that one-on-one with the molly burning him down in the end, Rylex, just takes you to another level.
Yeah, no, this has been just mental. This has been a mental second half of Nuke so far in terms of Orgles, unfortunately, not being able to add around to the board despite so many of them being so close. And even losing the first player here into round number 29, Jazar, who goes down early on, and he's a man who can be so impactful for Orgles on that AWP. He always has been a player who could be very, very impactful. And to be gone so early on right now, it's leaving Orgles in a tough spot. They need to come back from this 4-on-5. They're on the back foot. If they don't manage to make it happen, then Excellency will have claimed map and serious point in Orgles. They'll be on the brink of being sent down into that elimination matchup. Let's see what they can do. They've at least got Heaven Control, so this is looking like it's definitely going to be the A split to come in, or at least it was pretty likely. They've now gone ahead and abandoned Heaven Control, and they hadn't set up the other players.
Did Cypher drop down fully and just lose like 20 HP?
Yeah, why? I was very confused about that situation. I don't know what happened. Was there a nade or a molly thrown up maybe that we didn't notice?
No, there was no molly as far as I could tell. Now he's been mollied in hell, and now he's going to go back up A. What is going on right now? Cypher indecisive as well. That indecisiveness will be the death of him. Dobo and Ping. And Ping! Hold on. This is a long way from being done just yet. Dav has been read, but Dav catches onto Dobo. That's the bomb. And Ping. I might have been making jokes on his ping, but holy hell is he being absolutely handled there, and I'm facepalming so hard, Dean. I don't even know how to feel about this anymore. I'm just like, at this point, my blood pressure is rising ever slightly, and I can't imagine how this is for Orgles, because, oh god.
Sorry, it's now been 11 rounds in a row, I believe, for Excellency. This has just been crazy. I mean, Orgles are going to, as I said, be kicking themselves about this and about Train, which at one point was up 8-1 for them, and certainly could have been their map victory as well. So this is a tough spot to be in. They're fighting for the overtime now after having so many chances to be the ones putting themselves in the position to have that security. Instead, they're the ones fighting against it. It is heartbreaking, but it's not over yet. They can still keep the dream alive.
Cypher, oh, look at...
Burns quite a bit. That's awkward. Rylax is in an awkward spot, though, where obviously it's fairly open. He's going to be playing up close here, considering there's a player in towards Decon. It certainly is dangerous, but I don't think it's really going to cost them too much, considering NK, he's had success up on the upper side of the map, and also Rylax now being given such a warning that he is allowed to go ahead and reposition, and I think at least 2 players have shown themselves to be coming in from the Secret side, so they're able to put a little bit more focus towards this position.
Orgles deciding against pushing forward. They have a single molly and flash left. It would really leave them very much wanting for more if they had pushed forward. Without a smoke, it would be dangerous to try and cross through ramp an angle. We could see Dav holding back down with Rylax and Titanic, the cross being set. 30 seconds, though. Time is ticking ever faster, and Excellency there are a few moments away from securing themselves a victory and a comeback that I could never foresee. At least not the way it opened up. Holmes and Hut hears everything, knows everything, finds the kill. Jazar might have caught NK, but this is not going to be enough. And Holmes drops the bomb carrier. Here we go. Jazar now, the Swede, the one and only. Can he pull it off? 5 seconds in heaven. Dab is about to peek him out. No chance. 16-14. This is unbelievable, but Excellency pull it back after a devastating first half. 11-4.